when a sinkhole devours your fire. Give it up or dive in after it. An old swamp saying. Another old swamp saying went, when dealing with a troubled and troublesome Mulgrim, do not light a fire beneath her, but help her build one from within.
Oh, my neck hearkens the anguished howls of the Mulgrim, and the bitter patter of feet. A somebody and its flame, albeit a small one. 'Tis enough, perhaps. The Mulgrim's precious shards, they must be returned to her lair, to her cauldron. Only then may the cleansing fire burn.
Hands up! Ready! Up! Break with your boots! Take with your hands! Full of fire! The fire is ours! Take the shards! Take the fire! Good evening, or is it morning, or afternoon? Hard to tell without a sun, isn't it? No, it is most certainly night, or moonbirds hooting wouldn't make sense at all. Speaking of sense, will you help an old bird find some in this story? Fire up these dusty murals in the right order, and you will receive a present, a little gift, yes. Bring the fire to the story. As the heads roll, the time of the Volgrim begins anew. Once upon a time, the Volgrims lived in peace. The battle ended with a great, gruesome beheading. Peace ended when the violent sun bodies invaded the valley. The valley was taken, but then began the battle of the bodies. Intriguing. The valley was taken, but then began the battle of the bodies. Intriguing. ended when the violent somebodies invaded the valley. The battle ended with a great, gruesome beheading. And as the heads roll, the time of the Mulgrim begins anew. The valley was taken, but then began the battle of the bodies. Intriguing. The battle ended with a great, gruesome beheading. Peace ended when the violent somebodies invaded the valley. The valley was taken, but then began the battle of the bodies. Intriguing. Once upon a time, the Mulgrims lived in peace. The battle ended with a great, gruesome beheading. Peace ended when the violent somebodies invaded the valley. The battle ended with a great, gruesome beheading. The valley was taken, but then began the battle of the bodies. Intriguing. Peace ended when the violent somebodies invaded the valley. The valley was taken, but then began the battle of the bodies. Intriguing. And as the heads roll, the time of the Mulgrim begins anew. Peace ended when the violent somebodies invaded the valley. The valley was taken, but then began the battle of the bodies. Intriguing. The battle ended with a great, gruesome beheading. For time immemorial, the Mulgrims had lived in the valley in peace, sharing good eatings and howlings around their fire, which they had inherited from the skies. Then one terrible night came the violent somebodies. They hunted the Mulgrims for sport and took their fire for themselves. But the somebodies knew not what they were dealing with, for as soon as they held the fire in their grubby hands, they began to fight one another with it. To save themselves from themselves, the cunning heads turned on their bodies and organized a great beheading. And so it was that somebodies became nobodies, and the bodies were exiled. A time of peace would ensue, or so the headlings thought. The last living Mulgrim had been biding her time, and saw now an opportunity to return and take bloody vengeance upon the heads who are now left defenseless without their bodies. The Mulgrim begins anew. A storied meal indeed. Moonbird thanks you for feeding her and proudly upholds the promise. A gift. A shard from the Mulgrim's own cauldron. It looked so shiny in the moonlight. Moonbird simply had to take it. For now, she'll see you in the light.
approach over the mountain vein and find. We ragdolls observe, we record, and we mimic. Their faces laugh us, they do not know what is already yearning nights behind. His hands will tell. We put on a mask, we perform, and we put on a show.
Well, if you're not gonna gobble me up, then can you maybe take me away from here? Please? Somewhere closer to Nobodyville and away from here. Get me out of this neck hole, please. I'm begging you on my bare chin, and I'll pay you for the effort. Handsomely with a beautiful shard from the Mulgrim's Cauldron. I have the Mulgrim's Cauldron shard. Just... Take me back to Nobodyville, please. I can't take this tension much longer. Oh, I should have stayed in my heady hole. If you just take me to the outskirts, closer to nobody.
I appreciate the brain thought, somebody, but that head belongs to somebody else.
Phew, thanks for saving my neck. And I think I have a reward for you. A real treasure. There you go. One of the 3 missing shards from the Mulgrim's Cauldron. Yeah, I stole it. Oh, I thought I could maybe buy me some kind of ticket away from, well, everything. Start anew, you know? A good head on a pair of healthy, strong shoulders. Eyes on the horizon. Gosh, the horizon. Do you know I haven't seen it once since I lost my body? I really do miss my body. It's a real shame when you think about it, you know? The things that we do to ourselves, to one another. What we did to her, kind. All in the name of some sort of control. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, I guess I'm sad. Sad and sorry. Hey, thanks. You're a great listener. You know that? Just take care of that shard now and maybe put it back where it belongs and... yeah. Goodbye.
The Ragdoll's whisper of one shard kept by the dark itself. Another was stolen by the greedy moonbird up in the hilltops. The last one, perhaps the cowardly head knows. The heads betrayed us bodies, but not before we had betrayed ourselves. Fire in fist. The shards of fire. They must be restored to the cave. We hunted the Mulgrims, took their fire, and with it, we set ourselves ablaze. The shards of that very fire must be returned to the Mulgrim's lair. Somebody find the shards, mend the cauldron, Otherwise, we and thou art forever doomed to madness, to be fettered to the clay and mud. The ragdoll's whisper of one shard kept by the dark itself. Another was stolen by the greedy moonbird up in the hilltops. The last one, perhaps the cowardly head knows.
It's easy to lose one's head when everything you love is either gone, broken, or dead. Yet another forgotten swamp saying. She'd never been much for company until she had met the other one. He had shimmering scales, an appetite for life, and carried a faint scent of rotting leaves she found irresistible. Oh, how they used to laugh at the distant stars, bitterly, together.
The howls of the Mulgrim have gone with the wind, and our headaches settled into gentle throbbing. Thank you, somebody, for you have not only graciously saved our necks, but also demonstrated the value of brain mass and heart blob working together. Could it be time for the bodies to return? We must convene on this matter, and you and your wandering flame must now leave through our gates and keep on walking the midnight walk to Moon Mountain. Mountain! Here you go, somebody. This key will open the town gates. The mountain once again beckons, and the call is answered. Fare thee well, and take good care of your flame. The dark itself is hungry. The body can be a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. Do you hear that? The marching of feet in boots. Things are already changing. Head on out before heads change their minds about you. The body can be a wonderful servant, but a terrible master.
I don't know if I'm ready to be a somebody again. I don't know if I'm ready to be a somebody again. How will I ever forgive my body?
Headmaster, the bonkers for bodies, but I don't trust you. Or the flesh twigs. One bit. Last time I saw my body, I was sawing myself out of it.
I think this body business will be good for us heads in the long run.
The bodies might be returning. Heads on now. I've had enough. First it was the big Mulgrim hunt, and then when they forced us out into that make-a-forgiven swamp. I hate hiking, and then when we had nothing left to hunt, we started fighting each other, and then Mr. Mayor gets this grand idea that we should chop our own heads off and banish our bodies. How does that even scientifically work? I've had enough of civilization.
sure are. Hope the heads didn't give you too much trouble. At least your head looks attached to its shoulders and your friend's is, well, burning. So do not despair. Should you once again lose your way along the midnight walk, you're probably meant to. The body can be a terrible master, but a wonderful servant. Protect the spark. Find its home, won't you? See you down the road. I guess you gotta lose your head before you can. No, there's nothing there. I gotta workshop this one some more. You better get going. House is restless, and I'm feeling a song shaking in my boots. Things don't have to make sense to make sense.
worship with fire. We do not cook over it. We do not shed tales around it. We care not for its warmth. Ours is a different connection entirely. Fire is our window to truth and into the world beyond clay, to which we must return. We are noble beings, bringers of bugs, slime, and mushrooms to help decompose the old and to bring about the new. We are the caretakers of this world, and woe be to those who seek to end us, for they seek to end themselves.
Dreadful was the day when the sun vanished. The waters dried up, birds went quiet, and the dark itself seeped unchecked into the work table as the cold, chewed paper moon rose over the mountain. The night that followed would be long as the midnight walk. The burnt one was there. You do not remember, but you feel it, don't you? You are reborn when need arises. This night, Port Boy needs you, and Moon Mountain beckons. Its call irresistible. A storm is coming. The soothsayers have spoken.
And so she woke with a yawn, so big it could have devoured the sun. She had slept for just about a decade. A decent nap by Merkel's standards. She smacked her dry lips, looking forward to what the new dawn had to offer as she left her lair and went out into the cool night. "Wait a minute," she exclaimed. "Night?" And so she woke with a yawn, so big it could have devoured. Where was the sun? Where its warm rays should have been there was only the vast night sky, not a star on its face. Well, the Merkel mumbled softly to herself, winter was late, so now the sun must be late too. Proud over her sound logic, she went back to her lair to take a complimentary nap. The Merkel had taken a nap that had lasted 2 decades. Now that counts as oversleeping even by Merkel standards. She had awoken. The Merkel had taken a nap that had lasted 2 decades. Now that counts as oversleeping even by Merkel standards. She had awoken anxiously this time, feeling misplaced and confused. The confusion grew further into panic when she was greeted not by the sun's life-giving caress, but once again by the silently mocking night sky. Once was a freezing cat who was looking for shelter when she came across a dark cave. "Step into my abode," offered the dark. "It will warm you if you surrender your wants."
The story goes of a nameless maker who pulled creative spark from the dark itself without giving it fire. With his dark source, he managed to create swaths of land in no time. The dark itself waited for a gift of fire, but the Maker just kept on taking. Too busy building his crooked fences and watchtowers, kept his fire locked away in his chest. One day, he decided to create the first people to inhabit and appreciate his creation. It was then that the dark corrupted the Maker's clay, guided his greedy hands into creating not people, but the first of the fire-eating crawlers. And they crawled into this world absolutely starving.
The dark's eyes were much too big and watchful for the cat's liking. She went on to find warmth somewhere else. Then the cat saw it. Rooftops piercing the sky. Approaching the town, she was greeted by a crone. Come, kitty, kitty, you must be tired. Sit in my lap. Share your soft fur, and I shall warm you for a spell.
Hello, Mother. The well said to give it a match, so you and I could talk again. I hope this works, because that was my last one, and well, it's cold now. But it doesn't matter. We can finally talk after everything. So, how are you? Do they have fire where you are? Not the hellish kind, I hope. Is Father there too? I think you should talk to him again. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I know he loves you still. I love you. Still. I can't feel my hands. I can't feel anything.
this happen? Whoever did this? Oh, the flame warms the righteous, but the wicked who love destruction, the flame burns with a passion. Only warm the furnace! Feed the thief to the furnace! Feed the thief to the furnace! Coalhaven is doomed! On the wicked the flame shall rain fiery coals and burning sulfur. A scorching wind shall be their lot. Come forth, thief, and confess your hideous crime!